Hey guys, this is Mark with Amity Technology. We're going to do a little bulletin today, service bulletin on the wheel bearing replacement on our lifter wheels. I've already taken the liberty, I stripped the hub off, cleaned everything up. I just got the bearings here. I just wanted to show that we may need to clean our spindle up so our bearings will slide on the spindle nicely. One thing that's really critical to look when you have it on is this area right back in here where our seal rides. We want to make sure there's no nicks or ridges or anything along up here that could damage our new seal. I've already cleaned the hub up. I drove out the old cups. I installed new ones, but one little tip I want to show you is we don't have much of a ledge on our cups to drive them out. So one thing you can do to get make cup removal a little easier is maybe take your welder, give like a 1/2-inch weld bead on the cup itself, just to warm it up a little bit. You can take and drop that down on the table and that cup will fall out of there a lot easier. Okay, it's all cleaned up. We've got our new cups installed. Now we're going to start installing our bearings in our hub. I've already repacked. This is the inside bearing. I've got a pack full of grease. So we'll install that into our hub, and then we'll take our new seal, we'll get that installed in this hub also. Okay, making sure that that's nice and flush with the outside of the hub. Now we can take and install our hub onto the spindle. Make sure we get seated up over that ridge. After we got the hub on, we'll take the outside bearing, which I already have packed with grease. We'll install this on our spindle. Sometimes it's kind of nice to maybe take a punch just to get her started a little bit. So we make sure we're secure there. Okay, after we got our bearings in, kind of want to give it a little roll or two, make sure we got no binding. We'll take our thrush washer, put up against the bearing, and then we'll start with the nut. One common mistake is people just go ahead and tighten this nut up and call it good. Well, the proper procedure for this is to preload our bearing to 200 foot-pounds. So we're going to take a torque wrench and we're going to go ahead and preload this bearing. We're going to set it to 200 foot-pounds. Every once in a while, we want to give this thing a good turn just to make sure that everything's seating proper. Okay, we're at 200 foot-pounds. So now, she's going to turn pretty tight. So what we want to do now is we want to actually back that nut off. We want to loosen it completely. Make sure we take all the load off of that bearing. Okay, our nut is loose. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to take and set our torque wrench to 50 foot-pounds. We're going to retighten that bearing after we've set the preload. So now we're going to take it up to 50 foot-pounds. Giving it a turn every once in a while just to make sure everything turns decent. Okay, there we're set at 50 foot-pounds. I got a little lucky here. My notch in my castle nut seems to be lining up just perfect with the hole in the spindle. If we had to move it, we always want to back that nut off. Do not tighten it. So there we go. We're set. Now we're going to take and fill this cavity in here with grease. And how do we know when we have the proper amount of grease in there? so our hub is full. We'll talk about that. Okay, while we're filling, we want to keep filling and pumping until we actually see grease purge out through that bearing. That way we've ensured that our hub is full of grease. This pumping our hub full of grease is maybe a process that should be done every year in the off season. Is pull your dust caps off, pump grease until you see it purge out of that bearing. At least we're ensuring we've got our seal on the backside holding our grease in there. But that's about the only way we have to know that our cavity, our hub cavity is complete full of grease. You know, I guess it's probably a good thing in the off season, even if you're not doing wheel bearings, just pull that cap off when you're doing the grease and make sure it greases or purges out through the bearing. Thanks for watching.